Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Memory Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you our Arena Football League Week 3 wraparound, where we're going to take you around all of the games on a Week 3 slate in the Arena Football League. But first, let's get this thing kicked off by breaking down the San Jose SaberCats and the Arizona Rattlers. When you look at the SaberCats in this game, you look at a defense that's been playing outstanding. Their third down defense is phenomenal. They're getting everybody off the field, getting their offense more chances to put points on the board, and that's what you want. And some stalwarts on defense, Jason Stewart, Francis Maka, Jabbar Fletcher, those guys have been getting it done. Now, offensively, I like what I saw last week out of Aaron Garcia. Finally got the offense in rhythm, 7 touchdown passes. That's getting it done. They're going to have to bring that offense with them as they travel on the road this week to Arizona. Now let's look at the Rattlers in the game. When you talk about offense, you talk about the killer peas. You look at Maurice Purify. You also look at Jared Perry and Tyson Poots. Those guys make it tough for any opposing defense to match up with them. And when you sprinkle in guys like Rod Winton, the outstanding veteran, and Kerry Reed, now you're really talking about a potent offensive attack that is putting up points in bunches. These guys can score on anybody. Now, defensively, the unique thing about the Rattlers, they've been sound, but they haven't recorded a sack all season long. And you don't want to give a guy like Aaron Garcia time in the pocket. Otherwise, he could find holes in your defense and pick you apart. Big game right here in the West Division, battle of the unbeatens. I love this matchup. I also like Arizona to win at home. Tough place to play. Plus, I think their defense will finally get it going and put a lot of pressure on Aaron Garcia in that passing attack. Now let's take a look around the Arena Football League Week 3 slate, starting in Iowa as the Spokane Shock take on the Iowa Barnstormers.
Spokane travels to Iowa to take on the undefeated Barnstormers. And when you look at the Shock's offense, you have to be impressed with how they're playing so far this season. They're averaging over 60 points a game on opposing defenses. And when you look at wide receiver Adrian Teno, he's done a fabulous job so far. But defensively, this is what I really like. They're getting off the field on third downs, and we know how valuable possessions are in arena football. That gets your offense back on the field and gives you more opportunity to put points on the board. And when I look at Iowa in this game, one thing I like about the Barnstormers, this is a tough and gritty bunch. I saw a lot of toughness last week versus New Orleans, who went for the jugular on the first play of the game. Defense held throughout the course of this game. Now, offensively, they got to get better. They got to play with more consistency because you can't play these close games in arena football. You have to find ways to put points up on the board. You got to be able to be in a couple of shootouts in order to be successful. I like Spokane in this game. I think the Shock has that offense to be successful. They also have a defense that can get that ball back. So I think the Shock win this one on the road, remaining undefeated. In the battle of winless ball clubs, we have the Chicago Rush taking on the San Antonio Talons, and you have to give Chicago credit. They're improving offensively week in, week out. The problem is, I don't think it's enough. Defensively, they got to get better. They got to find ways to keep teams out of the end zone. Right now, they're giving up way too many big plays, a lot of one-play drives, and that's going to get you beat. Quarterback Carson Kaufman has done a fine job getting that offense on pace, but defensively, they got to get up to speed. As for San Antonio, on paper, you look at this offense, you look at John Dutton, a future Hall of Famer, you look at 2 all-pro wide receivers in Robert Quiroga and also Jomo Wilson. There should be no reason why this offense can't put points on the board. So when you look at this team, you look at a defense that's getting pushed to the limit to try to hold opposing offenses. Offensively, they got to get it going. I don't think it happens this week. I like Chicago to go into San Antonio and come away victorious. Jacksonville travels to Cleveland to take on the Gladiators. And when you look at this Jacksonville Sharks offense, you have to be at least 6'8" to be able to cover these wide receivers. Every last one of their receivers on their roster are 6'4" and above. And they just signed Marquis White, a 6'7" power forward, to go out there in high point football. So this offense does a great job in attacking vertically down the field. They know they have the height. They know they have the size. So they tend to out physical defensive backs. Now, when you look at Cleveland in this game, quite honestly, despite their record and despite their statistics, I really believe this is a very good football team. Turnovers have killed the Gladiators so far this season because defensively they are in these ball games. And when you put that defense on a short field in arena football, you're going to give up points. And that's what's happened so far this season. But I think they can match up very well versus Jacksonville. Do I think they have the offense to win? No, I don't, which is why I think the Sharks take their acrobatic acts to Cleveland and come away victorious. The Soul traveled to Orlando to take on the Predators, and when you look at the Soul in this matchup, you look at the defensive side of the football. I think that's going to be a key in this game. They had a bye week last week. They faced Arizona in week 1, so guys like Brandon Perkins and Rashawn Kaiser will have to come to play against a team like Orlando that wants to hit the ground running, a lot of speed on the outside. So I think their defense will be key in order for Philadelphia to win this game, because we know the Soul's offense will be able to put up points. Now, when I look at Orlando in this game, I look at their defense as well. One thing about playing a team in Philadelphia, you have to worry about the running game. So I think stopping Derrick Ross in the backfield will be key. Now, offensively, you see right there, Bush is one of the outstanding playmakers in the Arena Football League, came over from New Orleans. So if they can get Josh Bush involved very early, it bodes well for their chances to win this one at home. But I think Philadelphia travels very well. They bring their offense. Defensively, they're stout. I think they come away victorious against a very good football team in Orlando. Two exciting football teams, Tampa Bay and Utah. You look at the Storm in this game, and what has made the Storm dangerous on offense, it has been Adrian McPherson's legs. This guy has 5 rushing touchdowns, and that's something that you don't see in an Arena Football League. Normally, you see quarterbacks sit back there in the pocket, toss the football all over the arena, but this guy can take off, and he's putting the ball in the end zone and makes Tampa tough to defend. Now for Utah, we know about their explosive offense, but right now they have to make sure they protect the football. You can't have 6 turnovers in a ball game and expect to win. That's what happened last week. That's why they were blown out the stadium versus Arizona. Now, different matchup here in Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's defense will give you some opportunities to hit big plays deep down the field, but can they protect the football? That's going to be the biggest heat going into this ball game, and I think they do. I like Utah to win this game. I think last week was the anomaly. This week, we'll see the Utah Blaze team that we know and love as a team that can put points on the board, outstanding quarterback play, and a defense that is very stout like they showed in week 1.